Hello, everyone. I've got Evans here with me who has come through Elevate recently. Um, Evans, I love what you shared. You were very active in the cohort, always sharing little updates as you went through. And I just wanted to have a chat with you to be able to share that with some other people who aren't in that space to really
Yeah.
understand what your experience was coming through Elevate. So to begin with, maybe let's just back it up a little bit of how did you come into Elevate? What course had you done before that? Where were you at in your retraining journey and with your its and bears and healing?
Okay. Um, let's say I started the brain retraining. You could say officially, I started it in May of 2021
Mm-hmm.
through DNRS. And and I did that for about 2 years and 3 months. And and did it and was enjoying it. But it finally I got to a point where I was like, I need something else because I feel like I just kept doing the same thing over and over, and
Mm-hmm.
I needed to change. And so then I had already been laughing with you on YouTube, um, and then I saw one of your posts about Elevate, and so I was like, well, what's that? And so became that's how I got involved with Elevate. And
Yeah.
yeah, and so you talked about bears and its. Let's just say that I I came out of the womb with bears,
Mm-hmm.
uh and and have realized that through, and I say officially started brain retraining. I would have to say that I started brain retraining back in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, started working with a counselor. And
Yeah.
I think that's really, and I hadn't been experiencing many hits for years. But I think that's really when I got serious about needing needing to work on it and wanting. I'd already been wanting to work on it, but I realized that I needed to work on it in a different way. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for many people in the brain retraining space, that's the story, right? It's like they've got bears and its going on. They try one thing, they're like, okay, that helped with a little bit, but let's try this. Like it is this kind of seeking and searching journey for a lot of people where one thing will help them a little bit of the way and then they find something else to kind of get to that next level.
wow.
And you got to keep an open mind sometimes to get to the end of healing a certain thing. And then
Yeah,
we're always healing. We've all got beliefs and you know ideas and unhelpful things going on, patterns that we run in our lives as we dive into a little bit in Elevate.
yeah.
Um, so tell us,
Well,
what was your experience? Oh yeah,
one of
go
the
ahead.
one of the things that you just said that I enjoyed what Lindsay says is that every day, every day we're different. I
Mm-hmm.
really liked that. I was like, okay, yes, I'm growing every day. So I just wanted to bring that up. I like that.
Yes, and I love your. I mentioned before that you shared a lot in the core cohort that we have for Elevate and Regulation Station um, clients and participants who are coming through. And you often said something, and now I can't see it in my things here. But you often said, like, today is a good day. And I really like that about you. You brought a really beautiful energy to the space.
I would actually say today is a good day. This moment is a good moment. And
Yes.
I keep doing that. That was my mantra. It still is.
Yeah. Wonderful. I love that. So take us through like coming into Elevate, if you remember the start of your journey, because I know you finished a little
Yes.
while ago now. What was new and different when you first kind of cracked into the content?
Oh, wow. it was very refreshing, coming from the other one I did, DNRS. I came a long way. I totally appreciate it, but it was one way, and I didn't really feel like it had a bunch of other possibilities. And when I started getting into Elevate, I saw so many possibilities. And the fact is y'all even said, we're gonna give you more possibilities than you can do. Just just do the ones that resonate with you. And I felt the freedom. I felt freedom which I had not felt in the other ones I'd done.
And where do you think that freedom came from? Because we're in a video, we're saying, here's some possibilities. Like, was it just that permission to let go and be able to do things differently? What do you think the freedom came from?
It watched I saw both you and Lindsay sharing about your journey and being open and honest about it. Um, and definitely the leader, to me, I think the leader leads and the people follow. And so I believe I saw it in y'all and I said, hey, I want this. I mean, y'all were willing to not only not only to go into the good moments, but I
Mm-hmm.
think one of the things that I had missed was not being able to go into those moments that are tough, but
Mm-hmm.
not stay there, but go there and look at them with with the possibility and the thing of getting through it. And I really appreciated that, and I still do.
Yeah. And were there particular parts of the program or exercises that we did that stood out to you for that, for being able to go into something that's not so nice, not so comfortable, but
Yes.
knowing that you're doing that so that you can get through it?
Yes. One of the ones that really resonated with me was the how we experience a life event.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I have a belief, then I have a thought based on the belief, then I have an emotion based on this thought, then I have a reaction based on this emotion, and then I experience a result or outcome based on this reaction. That made it more concrete to me. And I, as you can see, I still have it and I use it all the time because I'm like, okay, I'm having an emotion that, where's it coming from? And then I go back and I'm like, ah, okay, well, I can work on that. That was one of them that was very nice. The other one was the fact that you have bears and its. I had always just called everything an it, but I think the distinguishing, I have bears. They're not its, they are bears. And that helped me to, it just helped. Um, yeah, I may need some help with this, but it
Yeah.
just it helped like to know that those things that have followed me all my life that are bears,
Mm-hmm.
I knew this, I did, but it unlocked some stuff where that is not me. That is a name.
Yeah.
That's a diagnosis, but I'm more than that.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Very
and
cool. I know you're super appreciative of the language list that we have, our
oh,
lovely language list.
lovely
For those
language.
watching who are going, what is a bear? Uh, as Evans has just mentioned, it's a diagnosis, and an it that we've mentioned a lot of times as well is a symptom. So we refer to these with different language, which is pretty common in brain retraining programs, so that we don't get caught up in this diagnosis, because diagnosis can mean a lot of different things depending on how you feel about medical practitioners and things. It can feel like a life sentence to some people, whereas if you're calling it a bear, it's a little bit different. We also have speed bumps for challenges and a few other things that I remember you commenting on that you really enjoyed.
Well, you call homework, you call it today's play.
Today's play. Yes.
I
Who wants
love it.
homework? No one wants homework.
I mean, homework to me, but say, what's today's play? Let's go for it. And yeah,
Yeah. And play, I mean, it is a very strong theme throughout Elevate. It's not all that we do, as Evans has mentioned, it's not all sunshine and roses. We do go into some deeper stuff and heavier emotions because it's part of the human experience.
right.
But when we can put our play hats on, like it's so much easier to navigate when we're in that explorative state. And that's what we're doing with our, if you wanted to call it homework, is like we're exploring, right? We're
Right.
playing around, we're seeing what works, what doesn't, we're having a go at things. And maybe we like it, maybe we don't. But I feel like when you can look through that lens of play, things become a lot easier as well and a lot more exciting and inspiring and enjoyable.
Yeah. And I also like what you call when life events occur or Limby gets in the way, you say pivot and practice. Um, Sports analogy, and I like it. I'm like, yeah. So pivot, I can totally pivot. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
pivot and
yeah,
practice.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we created this through the pandemic or in the beginning, trying to think now. Yeah, through the pandemic. And pivot was a big word in business at that time as well. It was like everyone was shifting and changing and
Oh,
pivoting to be
yeah.
online and that kind of thing. So it just felt very relevant to be able to do that, because when life experiences come up, you can sit in it or you can pivot, and that angle might just change the world for you.
Oh, I didn't even know what Zoom was until after after COVID. I was like, Zoom, what's Zoom? Zoom seemed like I'm gonna go somewhere fast. So,
Shoot off into space.
um, but let me share this.
Yeah.
One thing, and I think I told Lindsay this on one of our calls or something that we do, in the elevator, rewire, whatever. Um, I saw, because you offer the videos, um, the recorded versions of them,
Hmm.
and I would go back and watch them. And I saw parts of myself on there that I didn't I didn't see when I was going through it. And one of those things I saw was that I held back sometimes. Um,
Mm. And this
and
is in
as
the
you can,
group sessions we used to
yeah,
run, right?
well, it wasn't just the group. Like I'm finding now when I'm on Zoom, I don't hold back anymore. I mean, I don't want to take over, but I'm willing to be totally honest and say, hey, this is me. This is me. So I take me as I am. And I want to be the authentic me. And I've really worked on that since joining Elevate.
Yeah, I
And
was going to ask, like, how do you think, outside of getting out more on Zoom, being a bit less reserved, how else do you think your authentic self has come out and flourished?
man, wow, taking risks
Hmm.
where I didn't take risks, going and talking to people that I had not, yeah, like just to be totally honest, girls that I find attractive. I know now I'm like, hey, the only way I'm gonna get to know her is if I go up and say hi. If she says no, that's fine, but at least I gave it a shot. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And do you think you're like, what was scary about that risk before that isn't now? How do you think your nervous system or your mindset has changed to allow you to have that attitude of like, I'm just gonna go give it a shot?
Well, one thing is my its
Mm-hmm.
are less.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't feel like I'm fighting those. I mean, I don't want to fight them anyways, but I don't feel like I'm having to constantly deal with them. I still am to a point, but they're not as great. Going through all of this rewiring and renewing my mind. And so I'm finding, as they say in like swimming, when you're swimming and you're using flippers, you're getting push, you're having help. Well, I feel like I'm getting help. I'm getting that push that I'm I'm pushing off of something because I used to feel like I'm pushing off of nothing and I'm going nowhere. And also to answer that question, I already had a strong faith, but it has just reignited and grown that faith in the Lord. So, um, yeah, and so I already know that I'm special, uh, that I already have worth. So I'm not looking for that for other places. So I'm not looking for that in
Beautiful.
other people. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, they can think whatever they want to think about me. And so, and I used to worry about that. I used to spend time thinking about what are they thinking about me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not on my mind anymore. So it
That's
it
lifted.
it frees up that mind, it does. And
Yes.
yeah, um, one of the one of the things um in Elevate that I really liked. Well, I liked several things, but one of them was what type of learner are you?
Mm.
And it was like, are you an auditory learner? Are you a visual learner? Are you a physical learner? And I was like, okay, let's dive into this and figure it out. And I realized I'm all three in
Mm-hmm.
different areas. And so some ways I'm more one than another. But
Yeah.
I like, you know what, let's really dive in and see. And so then when I started looking at, okay, that one is relating to me, that I'm resonating. Okay, great. So let's do that one. But then here's another one in a different way. Let's do that one. And I like that you had so many choices. And I didn't have
Yeah.
to choose all of them. I could choose a couple.
Yeah. And how did you find that? Because some people might be listening and going, sounds like a lot of choices. I'm a little bit overwhelmed by having too many choices. What was it like? And I know in Elevate, I mean, there's choices and then there's options, but there's also like a pathway. How did you find the structure of the choices and the course to support you in choosing for you and your most authentic self?
I, I liked it. I, I, I guess coming from a system that I didn't feel like I had many choices. It was
Mm-hmm.
just, I feel like I had to do pretty much one roadway.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. I don't like too many choices, but I thought the way that it was laid, the course was laid out,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't overwhelm me because I was able to take it at my own pace. And
Yeah.
then if I ever did feel like something did not resonate with me at all, I just went, let's move on. And I
Yeah.
did. And then sometimes I would say, okay, you know what? That can happen later, not now. So I would like mark it down. Okay, let's come back with this later. And I would.
Yeah, and that's super important as well to honor yourself. And that's a huge thing that we do in Elevate, but honoring where you're at. And some people I know, because I'm the one who gets a lot of the messages about this, they hit the laughter, which was not an issue for you because I know you were laughing with me before, but they hit the laughter part and they find it very confronting, very challenging. Maybe it triggers tears for them. Maybe it brings up emotions or um, they find that very challenging. And I always offer that as like, yeah, it's part of the course and it's there. And if it's super, super triggering for you, put it down for now and you can come back to that when you're in a different space because it's really important to honor what I think in DNRS you call it your training zone, right? Like you need
Yes,
to
right.
remain in your training zone and not push too far out of that because that creates instability in the foundation. Whereas we're wanting to create a very strong and healthy foundation to move forward from.
Yeah.
When we went into some of the negative emotions, I'm going to loop back to that. What sort of experience, epiphanies, breakthroughs, wins, I don't know, whatever you want to share, or even challenges did you have with identifying those? So we go into shame, we go into blame, we go into unforgiveness and
Oh,
things like that.
yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
So what happened for you through that part of the course?
Let's just say that I started I started Elevate in August of
Mm-hmm,
2023. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but let's just say that over the summer in July, I met somebody that I
mm-hmm,
didn't know that I was going to see them. Um, and it brought up a lot of past feelings. And
mm-hmm.
I, I thought that I had forgiven them for things. I hadn't. Okay, if I did forgive them, let's just say it came right back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
And so in saying that, I realized that I was holding on not just to that, but many things in my life that I just wanted to let go
Mm-hmm.
in a good way. And I felt like Elevate. And again, let me say this. When I started doing Elevate, I realized that there were some things that you and Lindsay were talking about that I feel I didn't totally understand where y'all were coming from. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do Rewire. So I did. And I'm so glad because I got that stuff that I didn't get through the other one. And I felt like it helped me to understand Elevate so much more. Um,
Yeah. And I only know Rewire because I've only done Rewire. But we have other members. One of them, because you're often on group calls in the past together,
yeah,
from DNRS and who've done the same as you, then gone Elevate and Rewire. Um,
yeah,
and there's a lot of differences. A lot of again, those possibilities are much more wide in Rewire than in DNRS. And I think that's a beautiful thing, something I was grateful for. I considered doing DNRS when I was going to Brain Retrain because I know a lot of people who've done DNRS. I was
yeah.
also working behind the scenes with Lindsay, and I
Oh,
was like, well, it would make sense for me to know her course. And I also knew about the rigidity, and this is why we were creating Elevate already behind the scenes when I went into Brain Retraining.
yeah.
I
That
knew
I remember.
that there's kind of just one way in some of the other programs. I'm not about that, as you know. I'm like, oh, rules, get out of here. I want to do it my way. And that's really why we created Elevate. But yeah, exactly. Because
I remember
Lindsay and
that
I are
was
the same like that. We want to take it and reshape it to fit what we want. And that's why we attract similar people into Elevate because they're looking for that way to make it their own and make it feel like something that is for them, not just this track that they're following doggedly. And and
right,
you know, of, through obligation and guilt or something. It's like,
right,
no, I'm going to do it my way.
right, right. One of the things I liked was the 90-second change.
Yeah.
Uh, it helped me to slow down.
Hmm.
It just like if I whatever I felt, I would just do the 90-second change, and it was like I can breathe. I can breathe. It really helped. And it's still helping because I still do it.
Yeah. And for those watching who are like, what's the 90-second change? It's one part of the 7-step system in Rewire. And it's based on the research that's been done that the lifespan of an emotion is 90 seconds. So you take that 90 seconds to just disengage. You can breathe, you can count, you can do whatever really. You can laugh, you can dance, you can color in, you can hang upside down. It doesn't matter. It's just like get in a different zone. Just let that like float past to like a leaf on the stream type thing rather than grabbing onto it and making that emotion yours and sticking with it. Just just let it pass. And I think it's a really powerful thing to learn about and understand and incorporate into your practice, the way that Rewire does. So I know that you've got some notes there. Do you have other things that you'd like to share about Elevate or your experience of being in Elevate?
Yeah, the other one is there's a thing called expand. It was dealing with visualizations, and
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that part of it. It's an acronym, and I don't know if I can share it on here, but it was really I like acronyms, and again it helps it make it more concrete, and I just liked how when I would go through my visualizations, when I would think about it in the expand, it helped me to better visualize things.
Yeah, Lindsay's great with visualization and like helping people. I mean, she's been coaching retrainers for like 5 years and she's retrained herself as well. But she's really fantastic with helping people to better their visualizations. And it's a great section of Elevate. Same as the incremental training. We've had many comments on that. I don't know if you had any epiphanies through the incremental training phase, but a lot of people comment on how amazing Lindsay's incremental training description and way forward is through Elevate.
Yeah. Well, because I had done a lot of incremental training
Mm-hmm.
even before finding, about Elevate, I didn't really have a tough time with that
Yeah.
because I'd been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw it, but I did see it in a different light. Um, I I saw options
Mm-hmm.
with Elevate and then Rewire. I guess I saw more options through the incremental training, but
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem, but didn't have an issue with incremental training because I've been doing it for over 2 years. So,
Yeah. Beautiful. Is there anything else you'd love to share? And thank you for being here and thank you for preparing notes and getting all ready for this. I love it.
one other thing,
Yeah.
I I used to go, I used to talk and I used to think really fast, quickly, and I realized more through like Elevate and Rewire, I realized that that was part of the limbic issue. Um, and I've worked really hard at slowing my speech down, slowing my thoughts down. Um, and and I like it. It's helping me to think. It's helping me to love myself better. So yeah,
Yes.
I don't know if other people notice it, but I sure do. And as as one of the things that in the other training that I used to do, they would say celebrate the heck out of everything. So as you just did, yes. So
Yes.
so yes,
Yeah.
there, there are many ways that I have changed that I don't know if many people would notice, but I notice it. And
Hmm.
just getting out of bed in the morning, um, um, and saying, "Hey, I'm alive. Thank you so much." And I get to, I get to shave, and when I shave, what do? I'm being thankful for things, and I'm going through my head of all the things I'm thankful for. And, it's just, yeah, it's amazing. So, but
Beautiful.
I just thank you to you and Lindsay so much because
Thank you.
I didn't even know about this, until June of 2023. I mean, I knew of you, but
Yeah.
I didn't know about this. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for helping us get a word out. Hello to brain retrainers around the world who didn't know about Elevate. Oh, fantastic. Um, it's been beautiful watching your journey. And
Thank you.
as I say, you being very active in the cohort and having live interactions through Zoom through the time that you did Elevate. Um, yeah, just wonderful to see your wins, see you sharing and learning and growing and just enjoying the journey, which is what it's all about. So I love that your creativity has come through, your confidence has come through, your connection to
Oh,
your real authentic self.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And one other thing,
Yeah. Go on.
even seeing back when I started, so let's say in 2021, just coming into this talk with you, I came in with a confidence, with a, with it's going to be okay no matter what happens. And we're going to have a great time. And, and I didn't get caught up in all those thoughts that lead me down the drain. And I'm so thankful for that. I mean, that's just amazing. I I got into brain retraining to quote get rid of all the physical its, but I have awakened to the fact that a lot of the its I've had are not. I mean, I have a lot of physical its, yes, but they are emotional. They're thinking, and that has so much affected the physical. And so I could cry. And I'm
Yeah.
crying in a good way, in a great way. And they're tears of joy that I never, that I, yeah. So this is awesome. This is so wonderful. I just appreciate people like you and Lindsay that just are helping people like me and others. So I could say more, but thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. If you want to say more, feel free. We're here. And I also want to respect your time.
Just, well, let me say this. You were talking about people with laughing.
Mhm.
That is one thing that I hear a lot of, I've met a lot of people with limbic system issues, who say they cannot laugh, and that is one thing that I'm so thankful that I never lost. Even through the hard times, I was able to laugh, and I believe it kept me alive. Oh, I know it did. Um,
Mm.
um, and so I remember meeting this woman one time, and she couldn't laugh, She couldn't, and she looked, and she said, she asked me, she said, how are you laughing? Because I wish I could do that. And I fell for it. I mean, I didn't know what that was like because I had never lost it. But I fell for it because I realized how important that was to me to be able to laugh and smile even through the tough times. And for those people that it really, where whatever happens, it hits that side. It's just, wow, that's hard. So my heart goes out to them. And but I'm so thankful that I was able to laugh and to find the joy even in the hard times. And even the times I can't remember because of the brain fog. So
Mm,
yeah, it's just and you talked about forgiveness. It's not only forgiving other people, it's forgiving myself.
mm-hmm. Huge.
Not
Yeah.
yeah, just yeah, so I just
Can you
wow.
share, or are you happy to share something that you forgave yourself for?
Uh for for not having for not having all the answers
Mm.
and for wanting to have all the answers but not, and to realize that I'm only human.
Yeah.
Because I really I got angry with myself because I felt like sometimes maybe I did something to cause all this, and in some ways that maybe I didn't cause it, but some of my ways of dealing with things didn't help.
Mm,
And so just forgive myself because I'm human. I didn't know, and but now that I am growing in that knowledge, that I'm moving, and so I'm forgiving myself for just being me, being human. So
yeah. So powerful to unlock that and remove that burden of
oh,
being angry or frustrated with yourself. Or I mean, it's so common in the brain retraining space because people are like, I did this to me. I could say that training through chronic stress, like it's, it's not something, it's me causing the stress, or it's my
right,
patterns. But that self beat up is not helpful. It's
mm,
counterintuitive, and it's counteractive to our healing
right,
and counterproductive. And it's just beautiful to see you and so many others be able to just get over that hurdle and go, okay, I don't have the answers, and I didn't cause this, or I maybe I didn't help it in some ways, but I'm here and I'm human and I'm working from now. I can't change what happened before.
right. Oh yeah.
That
Oh,
is one of the best things.
yes, definitely, definitely. It's working on those things that I can work on. I can change,
Yeah.
but all those things that I can't, hey, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's all right. And one of the things that I liked what Lindsay talks about, she talked about emotional congestion
Mm.
and realizing that I had a lot of emotional congestion in my past. And that really helped, just that wordage. Just seeing that I'm not stuck there. I'm not stuck in the past. Um, and I used to think I was. I used to think that was all stuck to me like Velcro, and I couldn't get away from it. And realizing that I don't have to figure out how, like, I don't have to figure out the how to's. I just have to say, hey, what are the options here? And choose the healthy options. And that all will subside. It is getting better. And I used to be a perfectionist. If you go on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is a high perfectionist, I was like a million. So, and yeah, and it's just, and yeah, yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
laughing.
Again, a lot of people can relate. I can relate. I can relate. Certain
And
things get me
and
get
and
right in
so
there.
and it's interesting because now when I with people that knew me back then, and they're like, uh, you're different. And I would say, yes, I am. Yes, they're like, you went to somewhere you have never gone before. I'm like, right, right. And they're like, wow, what are you doing? Ta-da. So yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Well,
So,
thank you, Evans,
well,
and
thank you
congrats,
so much.
because while you said, you love that Lindsay and I are putting this work out there, it's you. It's you. It's always the retrainer who's the actual one doing the play, right? You've put in the play, you've put in the hard play to get to where you are. And I'm glad that you're kicking goals, you're shining so bright, and that people are noticing the differences in you.
Mm,
And you're noticing those ones that really matter to you within yourself as well, even if others don't.
yeah.
So important and amazing.
Can we do one thing before we leave?
Yes.
Can we do some laughter thing together? Because I enjoy that about you. And one of the
Yes.
things I enjoy is when I watch you on your YouTube stuff. I like the stuff where you're not even saying anything. You're just laughing for like 5, 10 minutes. I think those are so awesome. So
Yeah. No language, just laughter. They're super popular. I'm like, okay, Bianca, the people want you to shut your trap and just laugh. Just stop talking. They just like the laughter. The brain thing. Stop explaining exercises. Just get into it. Okay, how about we do this?
okay.
My son and I have been doing like a you copy, I copy with dance lately. So what if
Oh,
I do something, we both do that together, and then you can do some laughter exercise of any kind, and then we
okay.
can both do that together.
Okay.
Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay,
This
I'm
is
gonna do.
fine. Oh, oh, oh. I call that the elevator.
Very good,
Very
very good,
good. Very good.
yay! Very good,
Yay.
very good,
Very good. Very good.
yay!
Yay.
Very good,
Very
very good,
good. Very good.
yay!
Yay.
Fantastic. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, Evan.
Thank you.
And to those
Look.
of you who want information on Elevate, it's somewhere around this video.
Thank you so much, Bianca.
Thanks. Oh my goodness, what an amazing chat that was. If you would love some of the results you've seen here or elsewhere, and you're looking into taking brain retraining to the next level, Elevate could be your jam. It's a 6-part course that helps to lead you through connecting to your true self, rewiring beliefs, connecting to your deepest values, and most importantly, the 3 Ps: personalization, making it yours. Purpose, which is connecting in with purpose day to day, can easily be lost when we're chronically stressed or suffering from chronic conditions. And play. You know, I love play. Play helps us to really enjoy the healing journey. Whether you're a brain retrainer or not, Regulation Station is there for you as well. Regulation Station is a hub with tools to help you regulate your nervous system on the fly. Quick, easy, and a diverse range of tools. Things like meditations, visualizations, laughter sessions, somatic practices, EFT tapping, and so much more. There are 35 state changes in the hub, and they get changed monthly so that you have a steady yet fresh toolkit ready anytime, any place. And lastly, if you are like, brain retraining sounds interesting, and I'm not a brain retrainer, but you might have chronic stress, chronic symptoms, chronic pain, Rewire is where it's at. You can find the details for all of these programs around this video. I hope you've enjoyed this. Remember to subscribe if you'd love to see more.